Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today we wanted to make this video to share with you insights on some stocks that we think have potential for future growth. So I'm with Jason. Jason's actually from Michigan. He's here to visit California. We've actually just gone to like Alcatraz. We're now in Japantown, just had some food. So now I just wanted to share our insights with you all. So Jason, what company stocks would you like to discuss about?
Well, a few of the unusual ones are, I know you've talked about it before, but it's been a little while, is Heat Biologics, HTBX. They announced today that they're opening a new facility in San Antonio, which
Interesting.
shows that they're expanding where they're based around the country. I think they're in North Carolina, and they work with a few universities down in Florida.
University of Miami, that's the big name university.
And also recently they were selected to be in the Russell, which basically helps give them more exposure to various shareholders, whether it's other companies or other more retail shareholders. And I've also noticed recently that companies like BlackRock, Fidelity, all of them have been opening up investments in Heat Biologics as well. So and as far as I know, they continue to grow on their products. They're still developing the COVID vaccine, and I think they're hoping to make a universal one. That way any variant is covered under this one. Who knows how that'll work, but something a little more innovative.
So what's your price target with Heat Biologics?
I can see Heat Biologics going to maybe $50 in the future. I've been holding for about a year now. I held through the reverse split. The prices stayed steady. Sometimes they can be kind of volatile. I've seen it go from $6 to $8 in one day. But I definitely think it's more of a long-term hold. As far as when that's going to happen, I would say definitely probably less than 5 years.
Okay, I agree with you. The GP96, which is for the COVID-19 vaccine, there's lots of potential there. So I'm sure working with University of Miami, there's that credibility and that partnership along with Heat Biologics. So there, you've heard it from Jason with the potential for Heat Biologics and what it can do for you. Now, what other company did you want to share with the audience here?
Another one is IBIO.
Okay.
Of course, we've talked about IBIO several times before. We know that the price about a year and a month ago now was at $7.45, and it's gone down. It's sitting around $1.30 right now.
That was about a year ago, right?
Yeah, about a year ago now. But I think over time, I think it could definitely reach 10 to 20, maybe even $30 within 5 years. CEO Tom Isa has a very credible background. He's established a good, solid team behind him. It just takes time to sit on it. I know there's lots of people that bought in at $7.45 and are probably.
What's your recommendation?
I would recommend the hold. I definitely think it will see $7.45 again. They have a lot of products in the works. Of course, the COVID vaccine, and I know they're hoping to do a universal one as well. Plus, with the fast farming, that's very innovative. That's definitely one of their biggest claim to fame. Another one is the plant-based technology for vaccines. That if that turns out to be successful for them, that can be very innovative. The reason being is you always hear those that may be skeptical of vaccines because they may be filled with aluminum or whatnot. Well, if it's plant material, I think most people will probably be more accepting of that. You would probably reach a broader audience on that.
Interesting.
So that's very innovative for them.
So would you say that's how they differentiate from other companies in the race right now?
The fast farming and the plant-based vaccines are probably what distinguishes them from any other company. But you just look at small signs too. I know that BlackRock and Fidelity and Vanguard have all increased their share count with IBIO within the last several months. So if a company was going downhill and failing, I don't think major companies like them would be just throwing their money into it.
Very good point. So have they been just adding constantly into IBIO?
I'm not sure in very, very recent months, but I know usually every quarter a little bit more gets added among the various companies.
That's a good sign, at least for IBIO, gaining that recognition from large financial institutions.
Yep.
Anything you'd like to share for last words with IBIO?
Again, it's a long-term hold. I know that a lot of people are probably really upset that the company hasn't really seen a lot of major growth in the share price, but I think as long as you stay to a long-term, you'll definitely see the fruits of your patience. It may take a couple years, 3 to 5 years is what I would project, but if you have a large amount of shares in IBIO, I think that will definitely pay off for you in the future.
All right, well, there you heard it with IBIO. What other company would you like to share to the audience here?
Another one is ASTI.
Stands for Ascent Technologies.
Yep.
Okay.
They've recently opened up a contract with a German company, which to me, if a company is willing to work with you to get your product out there, they wouldn't waste their time if you were going downhill. Sure, it's a small cap company, but I think long term, again, 3 to 5 years is what I would project. We could definitely see it go from the penny, 2 penny range up to $1, possibly. And plus, being a solar technology, we know that's one of the hottest things going on right now, along with EVs, of course, vaccines, and of course, solar. And it could definitely see a lot of government funding, not just in the United States, but all around the world eventually.
Great point.
And especially since it's opening up with a German manufacturer, obviously they're trying to get themselves out there internationally. So I definitely think it's a play to keep an eye on.
And I know in terms of a share price, back in February, it catapulted up to 7 cents.
9 cents,
9 cents.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
7 to 9 cents.
And we know that in 3 to 5 years, we will see it grow slowly but surely. But you never know with these type of plays that it can just catapult in any moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
It usually happens when we least expect it to. So
Yep.
I know that ASTI has a number of patents, and they have a CEO who's seen it all in this type of environment. So,
and one other thing I'll add to is I don't really foresee a reverse split, at least for a very, very long time. Usually anytime reverse splits happen is when the company is extremely diluted. MMEX is a good example of that. I know you touched on that one time.
Right.
They recently did a reverse split because they had way more shares invested in the company than they were allotted. So, yeah.
All right, well, there you've heard it from Jason with ASTI. So let's talk about Interscope Hearing Technologies, ticker INND. What can you share with us, Jason, on the company and its future outlook?
Well, the biggest things for them right now is they're paying current,
that's good news.
which was probably their biggest goal for the year. So, and they fulfilled that. That's a good sign. Very ambitious CEO. They have recently today too. They just announced they were going to start selling a product. I forget who it was through specifically, but obviously they're getting their products out to various companies. Amazon and Walmart, I know, are in the works at some point if they haven't already. But what was the other one? That was pretty much about it for them.
Right.
As far as in the last week, I know they ran up to 9 cents several months back, and they're sitting around the 1 to 2 cent range right now. I think they could reach $1 eventually. Again, it might be a couple years before we see that. Within the short term, I could definitely see it reaching a quarter.
Wow, that's great positive proceeds if it were to hit 25 cents. And as a long-term investor, I mean, in these type of plays with medical devices, I believe it just takes time. And with the initiative of going e-commerce style with Amazon and Walmart, with BJ's and other distributors that they're working with, there's that potential. I mean, we can't even remember all of the different names with who INND is working on, but that's a good sign at least, right? I know they're also marketing on TV shows as well.
Yep.
So we'll see it on
They
Fox
recently
News.
started that.
So there's so much growth with INND, even though we see the share prices at the current value. What goes down really will start going back up. So just remain patient. Let's say if you're an existing investor. What about your take with new investors? Would you say take a stab at INND at this time?
I think any of the ones we talked about are definitely worth taking a look at. And One other point I like to bring up to remember is with any biotech stock or with anything medical related, they always take a long time.
I agree.
To succeed. It's not like Amazon, or Amazon took a long time too, but once they exploded, they exploded. But usually,
or like an AMC stock,
yeah,
where things happen overnight
and all that. You definitely can't. You have to be very patient with biotech stocks. It could take some years before you see it blow up.
All right, and just one more thing I just wanted to share with you all is just one crypto play that I've been monitoring, and I've actually hold on to a few of these token coins as well, and that's CTSI. Today, CTSI had run all the way up to like $1.27. It's now at the threshold of like 80 to 90 cents, but at least that's a good sign to see that there's potential in this coin. I mean, it previously ran all the way up to like $1.75 months ago, so it's nice to see CTSI back in action, gaining traction, and it has a technology called optimistic rollup where it can really add value in the DeFi gaming sector. So let's just continue to see it bull run, and I'm just going to hold this long term with input from Jason, right? Especially with just crypto plays. It's really going long term with these plays and not doing these quick swing day trades. Even though there's potential in those areas, with our lifestyles, we are more around the realm of value and long term investing. So there we have it.
Most stocks you definitely want to do long term. Short term, and for most people, they end up losing money. Definitely,
and we can make another video on that, on the positive benefits with like tax implications, right?
Yep.
And this guy's a tax specialist here. I mean, he's learning to become an expert in that field. So
training to be a CPA.
Definitely. So you've heard it from Jason. So any last words you like to share?
Just be patient with your investments. It may not look good right now, but I've seen it time and time again, and I've experienced it too. Patience pays off with all these, unless it's like JCPenney or a company that you know is just going under and it's just waiting to happen.
All right,
it will have its day.
There, you've heard it from Jason and I. So thanks for watching this video content. Also, please make sure to follow Jason. Go ahead and share your user.
I go off of JMCGIN1453. I'm all hobby based though. I do a lot of action figures. I hope to do my own investment channel someday, but for now I just stick with hobbies. Yeah, so just a shout out for Jason. If you want to support, please make sure to subscribe to Jason's channel, and if you enjoyed this, hit the like and leave any comments, questions for Jason and I. Thanks so much. You all have a great day.